I started watching this show just randomly on Netflix a few days ago, just like a background nonsense show. And it's a Netflix original, so it has decent production value. I think it's like a French show, but I'm watching it English dubbed over. And it might be the worst plot of any Netflix show I've ever seen in my life. It's called Into the Night, and it is about the sun. A bunch of people are on a plane, and one of the pilots starts freaking out because a guy with a gun runs on there and is like, when the sun rises, it's going to kill everyone. We have to take off. And so with just like a sparse few people remaining on the plane and the co-captain, whatever they're called, associate captain, they take off, as everybody in the airport's like, the fuck? Like this, it just started backing away from the gate and they're taking off. And I'm 5 episodes in. The entire show is them bickering and arguing with one another on the plane about the safest place to land so they can refuel and get supplies and then take off again to continue to outrun the sunlight before the killer sunlight, which is like microwaving.
Is it a known fact that the sunlight is actually killing people, or is this an irrational fear?
At first it's irrational until they like fly over the place where they were going to stop to get rid of the gunman. And then the pilot's like, oh, everyone's burned. They're dead. They're all over the ground. And then, so they continue to fly. And there's no progression. There's very little plot movement.
I don't see the long-term plan on this.
There's 2 seasons somehow. And and I'm blown away. I'm 5 episodes in, and every single episode starts with, where are we going to land to get gas? and it's the same problem over and over. They encounter like a band of British rapists who are impersonating soldiers, and the soldiers get on the plane. And then they very quickly are like, there's no upside of the trickery. Immediately, as soon as they're out there, one guy's like, this doesn't smell right. I think they're military, I think they're stealing valor and they're actually murderers and rapists. And they're like, oh, well, thank God we didn't take off with them. Distract them while we leave. And it's like, so they don't even get onto the plane to start harming. It's a true new level of bad. Like it could have been
bad shows.
I do like bad shows, but it's trying to be good.
Why can't they like hide in a dark building from the sun?
Because it's apparently like it's begun microwaving people. And so they're saying one of the guys who's like the goofy scientist on board, got to have the goofy scientist. He's like, the reversal in the polarity of the sun, it could theoretically cause microwaves. And which is what I just said is not complicated. And then like the pilot will be like, damn it, give it to us in English, Doc. And it's like, it's making people too hot. Down and they're dying, and so you can't hide on the ground ostensibly.
But this doesn't make any sense to me. All right,
but you can hide in the air.
You can hide it, but only if you're flying into the night. And the end of the first episode is like they really blew their wad too quickly on saying the name of the series. End of the first episode, like ask some lady like, where do we need to go? And she's like, into the night. But it was like badly dubbed.
And so I need help with a lot of things here.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'll do my
best. All right, so first of all, I always thought that the Earth rotated at like 1,000 miles per hour, because I think the Earth's like 24,000 miles in circumference, roughly, like plus 120 or something. Mm-hmm. And then, a day is 24 hours. So it just seemed to make sense that the Earth is rotating at like 1,000 miles per hour, roughly. So for the plane to stay ahead, wouldn't it have to be going at least as fast as the Earth is rotating?
I would guess so.
But every time they landed for fuel, then they would be losing ground at 1,000 miles per hour. Mm-hmm. So unless they were faster than 1,000 miles per hour, then the show would be over in like a week for sure.
I mean, that's what I was thinking as well. But not only are they landing and refueling, they have time to bicker. They have time to like have internal disputes among them. So it really doesn't feel like there's a lot of urgency.
Here's another thought. Like if the sun like turned into some kind of a microwave, isn't it like killing everything that it touches?
Yeah.
Including like all the like plant life and like animals.
I would imagine so. Now they're at a point now where like the pilot who got shot in the hand in the beginning by the terrorist guy, and now he's like dying of blood poisoning. He like took a bite of an apple. He's like, this apple tastes like paper. And then the scientist later was like, I think that the microwaves eliminated all the nutrients in your apple, and that's why it tasted like paper. And then they landed again. They're like, we should have enough fuel to fly for thousands more miles. And they're like, well, if the same principle applies to the carbon in the fuel tank, it's slowly being destroyed as well since it's organic. And it's like, now they got to get like 13 more episodes out of this. The fuel's failing 5 episodes in. The food doesn't work.
There's
Multiple people dying. Yeah, there's a whole other season of this garbage. It's rough, and it's a European show, and so there's a lot of inter-European bickering, all in English dubbed. But like, there'll be like little like jabs that like Americans wouldn't think of, where like some Italian guy would be like, "What are you, just some Turkish dickhead?" And he's like, "You Italian piece of shit, don't talk about." And then they're both like, "Get this Pole out of here!" Like just all like pointing out at every different little subgroup of person, like all bickering. It's funny. It is bad though. Can't recommend it less to anyone who wants a good show.
I'll never watch it. I promise.